We haven't been to the cinema this time.
No, we're cheating, actually. We just watched a movie in bed, quite honestly.
Yeah,
We ate biscuits, it was great.
you can tell from below there what the film is, but if you don't have the information for some reason, I bought a copy of the Turkey Shoot remake because I fucking love Turkey Shoot, and it was the second Hagan review we did.
No.
And, well,
I
not
like
we,
Turkey
but I did with other people.
Yeah.
And I bought it for reviewing purposes, but then I thought, Omega likes Turkey Shoot,
Well, I liked your review of it.
so she should watch this fucking terribleness with me. And we should talk about it.
Like, she said, do you want to do a Backseat critique tonight? We can watch the Turkey Shoot remake. I said, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I don't have work tomorrow.
So, here
You
we
made it
are.
sound more dramatic than it was. Like, I was like, no, nothing, no, don't do it.
So here we are. They have changed the name for the UK and probably America to Elimination
It
Game.
makes it sound like it's about peeing. It's like, I can eliminate faster than you. Psst.
I think it's really noble of them to try and distance Turkey Shoot, the original, from this shitness.
But they didn't. Like, they didn't,
by
though,
changing
because
the
they kept
name?
saying, oh, the name.
And to put this in very brief terms, this has nothing to do with Turkey Shoot, except it's taken some bits of Turkey Shoot, such as there's a
And
character.
it's wearing its skin.
Yeah, it's like the Running Man, or a crap clone of the Running Man, as in the film, not the book, skinned Turkey Shoot and is wearing its skin. Or possibly stole its skeleton, because it's parts of the interior, not so much the exterior.
Anyway, it's your man from Vikingdom.
Yeah, Dominic Purcell. He of the three emotions, and two of them look exactly the fucking same.
Like, you keep expecting him to, like, turn to, like, someone in the movie and be like, I went into a gate filled, it was a vagina made of naked ladies. Just saying.
And she wanted this out, and, you know...
If you want to know what I'm talking about, well, then you better watch the Vikingdom.
Vikingdom's so good.
It's a crossover with Happy Viking. He's very happy about it.
Yeah. But, Dominic Purcell, the guy is pretty muscular.
More like Dominic Purell. I don't know.
He's pretty muscular, yet
Except, like,
somehow...
it's all in his neck.
Yeah, somehow his head and neck, even though he's so muscular, still looks way too big for his body. He's the sort of guy that to look normal, he really should be Arnie-sized.
Yeah. And there was, like, he could, like, there's a giraffe lady in this. Like, literally, she had, like, this really huge, really muscular... What was her name? Does it say on the back?
The names are really hard to read.
Oh, well,
in
you
the
know
back.
what? Put it in post. Just put it in the
Really
bottom
hard
what it
to
was.
read.
She's scary. I'm scared of her.
You can see her in the trailer. She's always got a white light behind her.
Lunging neck, like, but it's like muscular and it doesn't fit the rest of her. And she's evil for the point of being evil.
I work for the network
making
because there's only one in the
it's
entire
so
world.
bad. It basically tried to be the This is would have been a really great movie. Okay, this wouldn't have been a really great movie. But it would have been a better movie if it was in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, it was called Running Man.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the whole theory of media, like, oh no, people will become consuming mass media and they'll become immoral and decadent as a society. That's really played out. And like, if they were trying to take the angle, oh no, reality TV has gone too far, that would have been a movie to make about 10 or 12 years ago. But
Running
now.
Man.
Yeah, but
the similarities with Running Man, you've got the game show element of it. You've got the highest rating because this guy's done so amazing. You've got the main character who was accused of something that he didn't do, and you've got him getting part of winning the game is basically in this version. He wins the game, and then they're going to arrest him for something he didn't do again afterwards. Yeah. In the Running Man, they're just going to kill him for winning the game, and. But then they managed to get the tape of the original events out, to the member of the public,
there's this whole government conspiracy,
which is right from Running Man as well. And you've even got like the woman helping him out. Though in Running Man it was just a regular woman, not a military woman. But basically, beat by beat, except for the bit where they run off and manage to avoid the game for like a third of the film, that wasn't in Running Man. No. But the rest of it, fuck yeah.
Like, I could see, okay, and I think I said this while we paused it many times to bitch about it while we were watching it. I could see this happening if it was something like, this is an underground network that is paying such substantial bribes to the federal government to be able to have access to prisoners of war from other countries, like suspected, like enemy combatants, people the government wants to get rid of. They're paying all these fines to operate as a pay-per-view on the dark web.
That's basically Hostel.
Yeah, well, I've never seen Hostel. But, like, and so that's how they're raking it in hand over foot. That's how, you know, they can have a show where people literally die. Because the thing is that, like, you can't be like, oh, it's the near future, but everyone's, like, against this war that sprang up, but they're also really for watching this game show where where people die. And it's being broadcast all over the world, so, like, apparently the EU's not a thing anymore, the UN doesn't care, like, everyone's like, oh,
Europe is a country, Australasia is a country, North and South Korea
Neo-Korea.
is one country.
Just like in Akira.
But, you know, to be fair, Turkey Shoot, the original, was set in the near future and a fuckload of weird shit had happened, like a fascist state had turned up.
Yeah, but the thing is, but it didn't have the whole world media aspect. You could believe that on the island continent of Australia, shit done got real and they had concentration camps where this was taking place.
We don't know for sure Turkey Shoot was set in Australia. Turkey Shoot, the original, was, like a lot of Australian exploitation films of the day, were very cagey about where exactly it was set because they wanted to make it more accessible to American audiences. That's why you had, like, American stars. The Italians did the same thing. And even in English did that. Hellraiser. When it was made, Hellraiser is awesome. But when it was made, it was an English film with like one American actor. And then they decided it would make more money if they pretended it was set in America. So then they dubbed half the cast with American accents, really obviously. And they had, like, English police.
Hey, everybody!
Yeah, they had English police and everything, and...
Pardon my TARDIS.
There's some extra dubbing, you know, to change some minds, but suddenly, Hellraiser is set in America.
Oh, well. They're like, we're going to drop him in the Appalachian rainforest.
Which has kookaburras.
Yeah, kookaburras and palm trees and a lagoon, just like in Tennessee. I actually had to Google it. It's like, there's no such thing as an Appalachian rainforest, and technically the part in Tennessee and Kentucky receives enough rain to be called a temperate rainforest. Yeah. But Americans never call it that.
Yeah.
Whenever, like, I'm gonna go down to the rainforest in Tennessee.
I'm gonna be nice to the film and assume that was not actually Appalachia. They just said it was, so that to make it harder for people to find where actually they do the show.
Yeah, but then they drop in the middle of San Diego.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense.
And then it becomes like the Purge.
To be fair, San Diego, would you notice?
San Diego's a nice town, like a nice city. It's not like L.A. I mean, no, I'm serious. Like San Diego is like nice. People live there.
They wouldn't notice. I don't think so.
It's not Detroit. I don't know what you think about America.
In Running Man, you get the really awesome sort of stalkers who are basically wrestlers. It's like wrestling personas, but they have chainsaws and they kill people. In this one, it's basically a guy. One of them's basically Chris Kyle, the American sniper.
Pretty much.
And then the other ones. I thought the twist ending is that Chris Kyle was, you know, leader of a bunch of Marines that killed people. Yeah. Yet he was a professional sniper. I thought snipers didn't tend to go on, you know, raids with a regular rifle because it was a bit of a useless waste of their skills. Mm.
Also, he was the same age. Well, I guess it was only 3 years previous. Yeah, why was a Marine, because he made a whole big, he's a Marine and things and stuff, why was a Marine teaming up with a SEAL team? It just made no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. The other stalkers were, there's a Korean guy who was armed with a rocket launcher who was called Armageddon, who was really shit at martial arts. Yeah, this Australian woman.
Honey, this might be the first film to actually portray Asians correctly, because not all Asians are martial arts experts.
True, but I'm just saying, the stalkers across the board were shit compared to the ones in Running Man.
Are you a martial arts expert? Are you Asian?
That guy... He shot a rocket launcher from somewhere else.
Maybe Vangelis is a martial arts master, and he's just been hiding it this whole time.
It killed the Australian one. The Australian one
tweeted him.
I don't know if the directing or editing was seriously bad in this. Possibly both.
There's like all these like random jump cuts made to look like they're made to be there, and you're like,
this Australian stalker has, you know, Rick Tyler, because, you know, it's the main character has the same name as the main character from Turkey Shoot. Cornered, and she's about to blow him up with Uzis, and then suddenly a rocket comes from absolutely nowhere and explodes her. Apparently the Korean guy was firing his grenade, his bazooka, and it just happened to go over some things and then down and blow her up.
He forgot trajectory existed.
He couldn't even see them.
You know what? Because that's how much of a not Asian stereotype he is. He was not a mathematical genius, and he was not a martial arts expert.
When it comes to crazy, violent...
Good job, Turkey Shoot. Busting stereotypes. I mean, not Turkey Shoot. Peeing game.
Elimination.
It does. You're because a lot of times the GP will be like, have you eliminated... Like, they won't say because they're too polite to say, like, did you piss today? Or, you know, like, they get, like, they're so polite, like, medically. And that's what it makes me think of.
Make-turation game.
Yeah. They're like, everyone in this is standing at the urinal, like, looking back over their shoulder at the camera. I don't know, I'm just saying. That's the cat, by the way, she's here.
This is, when it comes to this sort of violent game show, sort of reality TV, sort of, you know, commentary type film, this is possibly worse than The Knackery.
And because the tone was very uneven, because you had, like, they were going for, like, the stay-tuned kind of dark black comedy of, like, okay, well, he's really good at killing people, isn't he? Yes, he is. But, like, I think they should have been cutting back to that during the action scenes more. Yeah, but they just kind of, like, forgot that gimmick existed.
In Running Man, they did that as well. But do you know who the presenter was? No. And / the head of the network? I don't, because he did both jobs. Mm. It was the guy who presented, I believe it was Family Feud at the time.
No, really?
I can't remember his name, but...
Survey says...
Here, get the... Oh, yeah. I want to find out.
It's unprofessional to Google while you're on...
You talk.
But it was over. It just wasn't a good movie, and his neck was too big, and I don't know. And then like they're like, oh, the evil general's not really the bad guy because he's like, after 3 years.
Yeah, Thatcher's not the baddie.
After 3 years of bloodshed, I want to come clean. I wanted this war, and you're like, well. I mean, too little, too late. He's like, millions of people have died, but maybe I can wash the blood off a wee bit. I'm like, no, you're basically Hitler. Stop it. Oh, yeah.
So they got.
I wasn't ever a big Family Feud viewer, so I mean, I'm just.
Richard Dawson.
Oh, okay.
They got this guy from an actual American thing to basically portray himself as a crazy psychopath.
Well, you know.
So that was just brilliant. But the original...
And, like, the news presenter was like, I'm something Sanchez. And you never see the guy, and you're like, what a great presenter you are.
And then they have other parts, important parts where they get recaptured.
It's like they couldn't afford to cast another person. They're just like, well, let's have him do an impression.
Well, to be fair, the first 15 minutes of Turkey Shoot was never... And the original wasn't filmed because they ran out of budget, and so therefore they just got a bunch of random stock footage of violence and put it together and be all like, this is totally how fascists took over.
I want to say also that I don't think that's appropriate. I think if you're doing a documentary, you can use stock footage of actual people being actually hurt in catastrophes and riots and things like that. But if you are just making a movie, fucking film it yourself, or buy stock footage from other films. But because like, there's like some riot police, and you could tell they were American because they said police in English. I guess I suppose they could also have been
various other languages,
UK or Wales or something. But like, and they're like kicking some guy in the ribs a few times. I'm like, that's someone who actually got kicked in the ribs a few times, who may have died. We don't know what happened, but like, that's not good.
Because they did the stock footage thing here, and I want to, at some point, whenever I'm feeling sad enough, I will compare the intro to this and the intro to the original to see if they reused any footage, because I think they might have.
Well, I just think that that's not appropriate. I mean, if it's a fictional film, film it yourself, or there goes the cat, or buy it from other films that have filmed it themselves. But if you're doing a documentary, that's grand. But I don't know.
Talk about the amazing meta part that broke your mind.
She's confused.
Meta part that broke your mind?
Oh, I thought you were talking to the cat.
Meta part.
So, like, there's a part where the main character and his girl are, like, hiding out in a motel.
Because they got away from the game somehow.
They're watching TV, and the original movie Turkey Shoot is on TV.
And they're watching it.
And I'm like, this is so bad.
Dominic Purcell's character is so fucking stupid. Bad. He didn't notice that the main character has his name.
She's, like, doing a little nest. Don't let her be. She wants to be in the...
And the villain had the exact same name as the guy he wants to kill. It's like... Well, this is convenient, isn't it? What are the odds? Dominic Purcell. Oh, sorry, no, I'll do this as Dominic Purcell.
Like the president...
I want to do my... I want to say that in the way that Dominic Purcell would.
Okay.
Well, it was convenient. I did not see this coming.
Yeah,
I have emotion.
Never talk. It's just so many things that have been done better so many other times, and it's just like...
The original Turkey Shoot is still awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the point of that was not a media thing. It was kind of basically the most dangerous game.
It was.
Like I said, everything's been done before. If you can do stuff that's been done before, but it's all in how well you do it. You know? Like, vampires. Been done a million times, and guess what? they'll be done a million times more because it's all in how you do it.
I get the feeling what they were
What did you do
doing.
to the cat?
No, I'm just doing
She made a noise, so I figured you were molesting her.
I get the feeling that what happened with this was they looked at the original and they were like, they wanted to update it to make it more current, and they also wanted to do something different from the original, and were accidentally, while making it different and updating it, they accidentally just ripped off half a dozen other things.
Like, how could you not know when you're ripping something off?
It is astounding how many people don't realize.
It'll be just like Running Man, except made by us. I've never even seen Running Man. I'm just going off what you talk about.
Running Man's fucking awesome.
Well.
It's one of my favorite Arnie films.
I can't even do
Hey,
it.
Christmas tree!
I can't even... You sound like a Wookiee.
He had to split.
It was Sub-Zero! Now just plain Zero!
Get over here. But yeah, so it wasn't good, and I felt like it probably should have been. Like, at one point, like, there was a script that was like, oh, this is really great, we have all these great ideas, and then just got chopped up, and someone said, no, we have budget for that, and we can't do this, and nobody like it.
Ironically, Turkey should, in sticking more closely to the most dangerous game of, with, you got bastard with power and money.
And a werewolf? Where's my werewolf?
Yeah, there wasn't a werewolf in this one. Treating regular people as subhuman and, to be killed. Even though that's the original of this type of genre, it's not often done. Usually it's... Now, they've come up with more common variants that appear. If they had made Turkey Shoot, the remake, much more close to the original, it would have been much more interesting because it would have been different from all the other fucking, Battle Royale, Hunger Games type things, which all evolved from this genre.
Yeah.
Ironically, by being unoriginal, sometimes you can appear original.
Well, like I said, it's all in how you do it, Like,
and the directing and editing in this was terrible.
Yeah, like, they were just like, what was the point of that? Why is this being filmed this way? Who?
I've never seen so much Australia and Australians pretending to be so American. I mean, okay, the original one was cagey about where it was set, like a lot of Australian ones. This one's like, this is Neo Alcatraz and San Diego, and ignore the kookaburras. I'm pretty sure there's a kangaroo in at least one shot.
Where?
I might have made that up.
Okay, I was like...
But I wouldn't be surprised. It was totally filmed in the zoo. Oh, but... They got a mention of... Steve Railsback got a mention.
Steve Railsback?
Yeah. And Roger fucking Ward in a film.
He's kind of standing there looking really tired.
He's like 80. Roger Ward was the guy with the big mustache in the original with the bald head, and he's still got a mustache and a bald head, and he's playing Gaddafi. And the very start of the film is like...
Really, he is.
Libya is inside the flashbacks from Bitch Slap, because it's all CGI. And then he's there being all like, I'm Gaddafi for some reason. And he's just got this...
For some reason.
You got this woman in lingerie comes in and starts undressing him.
Like, thank you for helping me take off my trousers. I'm too old to do it.
He's got big shades and a cigar, and he's just smoking. Then he gets his head exploded. And it's just like, oh...
Doesn't matter, got paid.
They just got 80-year-old Roger Ward to stand in a green screen and be fondled by a model. It's like, fair enough. I mean, I'm still sad that he didn't play the People Eater in Fury Road.
The man looks old. He looks old and tired.
But the Bullet Farmer and the People Eater, they totally... One of them should have been played... Those two should have been played in Fury Road by Mel Gibson and Roger Ward.
Let's not give Mel Gibson any more attention. Just don't encourage
him. Playing a crazy guy shooting people while screaming about things.
No,
totally see that.
He doesn't get to... He's lost his right to do things.
I could totally see him play the Bullet Farmer.
I'm just saying.
Although that would drive the people...
Although we did have these really good biscuits that my parents sent from America. I went to Williams-Sonoma and they had little chocolate. It was right nice.
Although if Mel Gibson played the Bullet Farmer, there would be so many conspiracy theories trying to work out the continuity of the Mad Max films.
Don't.
That would be hilarious. But fuck yeah, even if Roger Ward did it, because then people would be like, oh, he's playing Fifi from Mad Max 1, who's gone evil. Because he was in Mad Max 1. You didn't know that?
I've never seen the first Mad Max movie.
You didn't realize Roger Ward was in it?
I like Roger Ward.
Yeah, Roger Ward was in it. And, Mad Max 1 was Roger Ward and Hugh Keays-Byrne's second film together, I believe. The first one being Man from fucking Hong Kong. Yeah. I don't know how you would have missed this, but...
Don't give me any shit.
if you rewatch my Man from Hong Kong video...
You really should if you are a young fan of Hagan.
Yeah, it's one of the early ones. It's Australian.
Really
it's Australian martial arts police film, and it's
awesome.
awesome.
You know, I actually own the Jigsaw song Sky High.
It's an awesome song.
I downloaded it. I paid to download it like 99 cents on iTunes because it reminded me of your review.
But if you watch that review,
you should go watch
the two
right now.
The two Australian white cops. One of them is Roger Ward from Turkey Shit, who's in this one, and the other one who looks like Fezzik from The Princess Bride, the sort of Sergeant Gross. That's Immortan Joe from Mad Max Fury Road.
Breaking the balls. One more time. Okay, I'm done. But yeah, so I'm just saying. Probably wondering why we haven't produced anything recently except for these.
Well, I've been producing stuff.
Okay, well, how I haven't. My desktop is downstairs. There's a problem with the electric in my room that basically makes my PS4 and my computer randomly just power off. We don't know why. Yeah. They've both been investigated by professionals. Both the devices are fine, allegedly. So someday, unless I fix the power fault or unless I move, I may be able to do things again. Otherwise, I probably will just do what I can and give the footage to her and she'll do that.
I'm happy to edit as long as you write up a list of what to do in editing. I will do it.
Things will happen eventually. I'm sorry. It's not my fault, though.
But we're hoping before the end of this month to do another marathon of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because
we've already filmed some. You probably shouldn't cook this. I won't be filming more.
Yes, we will be.
Point in the future.
Basically, we're collecting stuff that we can download, we can upload whenever we have a time when we literally can't do anything. So I have like 5 videos to upload, so some of you probably shouldn't cook this and other things.
Yeah.
So we are working.
Quite hard, actually.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like it.
Yeah. But
it's raining here.
But turkey shit. This is terrible.
Elimination game.
This is going on my review list. I will do it.
Game of piss.
I will. This is bad. And Brian Trenchard Smith executive produced this. I really hope this is the traditional executive producing job, which is goes to one meeting and gets paid. Probably. And that's pretty much the job.
Maybe he couldn't leave Australia for some reason. Like he had to
No, Brian Trenchard Smith. He's I believe he's English Australian.
Oh.
He last time he directed Drive Hard, starring Thomas Jane and John Cusack. So he's still working.
Oh, okay.
As a director, and he almost directed Mad Max 1. He came very close. Basically, like right before they were filming, George Miller hadn't made a film before, and they were like, "Oh, we'll just get the best action director in Australia to do it. We'll get Trenchard Smith." And then Miller was like, "No, I'm directing it." And then Miller became the famous action director, and Smith was like, "Woo!"
That really happened. Actual never happened.
According to the documentary, The Madness of Max.
I see.
But
we're almost out of battery power, you know.
Yeah.
Just saying. So yeah, don't bother seeing this shit.
Wait for my review. It'll take a while though because I have like a fuckload of films to do.
Metric fuck ton.
I have probably a lot of episodes scripted to go up. Between over 5, I think. That have not been recorded yet, and I got a bunch of other things.
So yeah, it's exciting.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I think it's exciting.
What was your favorite part of this, apart from dueling necks? And the fact that
there's this random guy, and she's like just commandeers his car. She's like, "I can do this for the army." He's like, "Is that a Black Hawk helicopter?" She's like, "Yes. Why don't you stay with the Black Hawk until we get back?" Okay. And this guy's like, "I just filled up the tank," and she's like, "Your country thanks you." I like that extra. He was good.
It wasn't extra. That's a bit part. Extras don't speak.
Oh, okay.
Forgot the other best bit. Thatcher. It turns out he's not the villain, and what he does. He has like this sort of lockbox thing that can only be accessed with his thumbprint, even though he set this up.
Right.
He had a stroke and he's been stuck in his bed ever since.
He had a stroke, but apparently he has no lasting damage from this.
And yet he's dying in a way.
With a stroke, usually, I guess, apparently has cancer too or something like that.
Yeah, so he's got all that, and he makes this video confession about his crimes and how the main character, is totally innocent. And then he makes this confession, and he somehow gets it to this, lockbox thing that can only be opened or closed with his thumbprint. And then he sends the guy off to get it, and he cuts off his own thumb.
And he's like, he's like, don't worry, I can't feel a thing.
Yeah, he cuts off his own thumb in order to get it opened up so that he can get his confession. Yet, how the fuck did he get the confession in there if he's been in the bed with this fucking stroke, unable to move, since the fucking... Time-wise, this doesn't make sense.
Maybe he put the thing in the box, sealed it with his thumbprint, and then said to someone, take this over yonder.
Yeah, but to get into the thing.
Oh, right.
This doesn't make sense unless he moved his bed over there or somehow, he...
He like drove it.
I'm not explaining this well. Whenever I do the review, I will explain this in more detail.
Elimination game.
This is the thing. The person who must have taken the tape there in the first place, even if you've got the thing where it can be closed without the thumbprint, but it needs it to open it, you still got this person who's running around doing his bidding for him. Why not use him to go get the tape instead of sending main character here to do it whenever he's being hunted down by the entire police force in the entire fucking world? Right. And this guy's idea of laying low while being hunted by the government is to be all like,
I have a massive neck and I walk around slowly. Dominic Purcell.
I'm very slowly approaching.
That is a nice reference.
Yeah. So, Elimination game.
This random Norwegian.
Now at a cinema near
this
you.
Random Norwegian who comes closest to having a gimmick worthy of Running Man. He's just shirtless with a big minigun. He just comes in and he screams "Open Season," which makes no sense in context, but just because it's a reference to the original. And it's like, if you're gonna reference something for no reason at all, at least have a fucking werewolf.
You have very little battery power left, and no werewolf.
Werewolf. Cheer you, werewolf.
Leave the cat alone. She made a little nest. I don't know if you can see, but she made a little nest in my blanket. So that's that. It was shit.
Yeah. It's the second time I've seen it.
It was only the first time I've seen it.